So what are my top 5 favorite games of 2024 that I played? They are all games that came out this year. I can confirm probably the only 5 I may have played that came out this year. I don't know. There was a lot of games that came out this year that I just didn't play, and it seemed like kind of a slower year for me personally. There are a couple games that I have not played this year that I kind of would still like to at some point that I've not played. I just am waiting for a really good sale on them. That being said, though, my number 5 favorite game of the year that I played, and I want to play it more, but that's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I really enjoyed my time that I've played this game. I don't play it as much as I thought I would, despite the hype levels and everything. It's a really enjoyable game. It definitely lives up to the hype for sure. I even have the season pass. Looking forward to playing it some more when the new characters come out. I need to play it more, need to get on that a bit more, but if you're a fan of the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series from back in the day, you're going to really enjoy this game. Some people have some complaints on it, like the story mode single-player stuff, not having always full cutscenes or other things, but it's got the what-if scenarios, which is really cool and really neat. If you like that kind of thing, where like, what if this happened instead of that happened? There's some really cool stuff in there. And the gameplay is top-notch, absolute top-notch. They really put a lot of effort into the gameplay, the cutscenes, like during gameplay when you're doing your supers and everything. It's really, really impressive and really, really cool. And I really enjoy those aspects of it. Visually, it's stunning. It is visually probably the most beautiful Dragon Ball game ever made. And Dragon Ball FighterZ art style is really cool. That game looks really cool. Even Kakarot has its moments when it comes to its visuals being really cool. But Sparking Zero really upped the scale top notch when it came to like the visuals and graphics of a Dragon Ball Z 3D fighting game. Like, it did everything that you were hoping for when it came to a new 3D Dragon Ball Z fighting game. I think that it really is. This is the Dragon Ball Z 3D fighting game experience that you would want nowadays. Like, if you're asking for a 3D Dragon Ball Z game, this is the game to go with. Yes, you can go back and play Xenoverse, but those games are so old now, it's ridiculous. The second game is closing in on a decade old, and it's still getting content. That's absolutely insane to me. That's absolutely crazy to me, right? That a game that's so old is still getting so much content because it became a live service, and I never ever would have expected Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 to still be going to this day. But that being said, I mean, I would love a third game, down the line, because I really love the character creator aspect and the RPG aspects. I love those aspects. But for people who just enjoy a good 3D anime fighting game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is exactly what you would be looking for. So number 4 on my list is a very short game, but being someone who really loves Sonic, I played Sonic X Shadow Generations, but I really only got this for Shadow Generations. Yes, I'm playing through Sonic Generations, but Shadow Generations was short and sweet, about 4 to 5 hours long, kind of like that Mario game that they came out with for the Switch, kind of just a test run of maybe what's to come. And I gotta say, as a Shadow fan, a huge Shadow fan, this game did a lot for me. It did, and I haven't even played the majority of the newer Sonic stuff. I played Sonic Frontiers when I got it for like a cheap sale, and it was worth it, and it really, really surprised me. But Shadow Generations, being a big Shadow fan, I had to play it. I waited for a sale for it because Sonic games go on sale fairly quick. It was about a month and a half after it came out. But if you like Shadow as a character and you can find Sonic Shadow Generations for a good sale, buy it. Absolutely get it. Because Shadow Generations, it'll take you a lot longer if you want to 100% it. Because it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun, and I'd say it's worth going for that 100%. Especially if you have it on like PlayStation, you can get trophies and all that kind of thing. But that being said, as a Shadow fan, it's just really cool. Like, the villain is cool. The little story is cool. It ties in with Sonic Generations. It's happening like at the same time, but it's brand new. It's a brand new experience, and I think it's to test the waters for something to come in the future, whether that's a Frontier sequel where Shadow is playable, or it's a new Sonic game in general that Shadow is playable. I feel like they're building something, and it's just a good time to be a Sonic fan or even a Shadow fan, because they came out with this Shadow game at the same time that Sonic 3 was coming out not long after, and both of them are fantastic. I can confirm Sonic 3 is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you haven't seen the first two, watch them, then go see the third movie, support the movie. It's a really, really great film. But yeah, Shadow Generations is my number 4 because it's just fun for what it is, even if it's shorter. Shadow is just a really cool character. I think it's because he's my favorite Sonic character that this is number 4 on my list, and I really enjoyed playing through this. Now, someone might hate me for this because being a massive Mega Dragon Ball fan that I am, but I think I played this one more. So number 3 on my list is Tekken 8. Tekken 8 won Fighting Game of the Year, and it deserves it, absolutely. I think like the hype behind the music while you're fighting and the gameplay and everything, the story mode. Oh my gosh, the story is so good in Tekken 8. Like, I can't really explain it unless you play Tekken 8. If you experience Tekken 8, you play through that story mode, the ending of the main story is one of the sickest things that I have experienced in a video game probably ever. It's at least in top 10, possibly top 5 moments in, I don't know, that's a stretch. Definitely top 10 moments in gaming in my life when it comes to like finales of a video game. I feel like Tekken 8 deserves to be in the top 10 of my favorite spots of like a finale for a video game, because Tekken 8's finale to its story mode, it blew me away. I did record a video on that, so if you're new here, you're watching this, feel free to go check out my reaction to the Tekken 8 finale, because it was something else. Like, I was going crazy, I was going nuts. That being said, though, from the gameplay perspective to the music and everything, I like Tekken 8 more than I like Street Fighter 6 and more than I like Mortal Kombat 1. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's a little easier. I don't know. I just like the style of it and the soundtracks and everything. I think it's really cool. And then they added Clive from Final Fantasy 16. Man, he's super fun as well. And don't get me wrong, I don't play super competitively online. I'm just a casual fighting game fan. That's just how I am. I don't know why. I just never have gotten into like going up for the super high ranks online with fighting games or anything like that, but I still have fun, even casual matches online or whatever. I have a ton of fun, and I love Tekken 8. It's so freaking fantastic. If you haven't checked out Tekken 8, highly recommend it, even if you wait for a sale, because Tekken 8, even as a casual fan, you will really enjoy it. Even if you've never really played Tekken, there's recaps on the previous games and stuff to teach you what's been going on in the story and stuff like that. I think you'll enjoy it. I think at a good sale, definitely pick up Tekken 8, because I highly recommend it. It has great characters, has great gameplay, has great soundtracks, great, amazing, phenomenal graphics. It is in Unreal Engine 5, and I think it was one of the first games in Unreal Engine 5 as well, by the way, and it is everything a Tekken fan would want and everything that a fighting game fan would want, because I don't see any issues with Tekken 8. I really, really don't. I don't know all the like technical aspects of, oh, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed. But from a casual fan's perspective, Tekken 8 does everything that it had to do, and it's a lot better than Tekken 7. Tekken 7 I dabbled with a little bit. It was all right, but Tekken 8 was just so much better than Tekken 7, man. I love that game. Tekken 8 is just so much fun, man. It's just so fun to just pick up and play for an hour or two and just go back to your business. Now, number 2 on my list is a game that actually won Game of the Year. It won Game of the Year, and that is Astrobot. Man, this game highly deserves that award. It deserves all the awards that it won. It gave me a smile on my face the whole way through. Even all the way to the Platinum Trophy. I mean, there's some really tough levels in it. Don't be fooled. It's not just super easy all the way through. Oh. There's some really challenging levels in this game. And once you get all that done, and you get all of the bots, you unlock there's a secret level you will unlock without me showing any spoilers. That level took me almost an hour, I think, to beat. I also have a separate video on that as well. Because it was tough. I died a lot. It was a tough level, at least for me. Some people, maybe not so bad, but for me, it was not an easy level. So don't let people fool you saying Astrobot is easy, because yes, it has a lot of easy levels, but that doesn't mean every level's easy. It has some dang stupid challenging levels in the game, and you will have so much fun with those levels, as well as just the main game overall. It's just a magic experience. It's one of those games that when you experience it for the first time, you wish you could go back and re-experience it for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Because that is something that I feel is rare nowadays when it comes to video games, having the anticipation to play something new and it living up to every expectation that you had, and maybe sometimes and then some. Sometimes they go above and beyond your expectations and you're blown away by it, and you would love to re-experience that, and you just play it again, but it's not the same as that first time. That first time, Astrobot was just, it kept a smile on my face from beginning to end. There was no way that I couldn't have a smile on my face. The way it worked with the controller in every aspect was so amazing. The ways that it played, the abilities in the game, the triggers, the way they worked. Everything, it was everything that I asked for in a Astro game, a full Astrobot game. Like, Astro's Playroom was cool, but Astrobot was something that us as fans wanted for so long, for PlayStation to actually use this character and give him a full game. And I think Team Wasabi, they nailed it so well. The music, the costumes, the gameplay, the level design, it's all perfect. This game deserved Game of the Year. Anyone who says it doesn't, you gotta play the game. You gotta experience it. It's not just oh, this is just to show off PlayStation's games and stuff and tell you these are the characters, you should go buy our games. No, it's not to tell you to go buy their games. It's a legacy of 30 years of PlayStation. This game couldn't have came out at a better time. And they, not only that, but they keep on adding more and more levels to the game. They added a bunch of speedrun levels that were short, but you could compare your score with other people, and they added more bots in those levels, and they added a Christmas level for Christmas time that's staying in the game permanently that you can play as well, and unlock a bunch more really cool bots in there. And that level took me like 45 minutes to find everything 100%, so it was dang worth the time. And they're going to keep probably updating this game for the next 6 months to a year maybe, or something. I don't even know. And I'm so excited to see more of this game and keep revisiting it and going back to it just to see the new stuff that they add. It is everything that you would have wanted in an Astro game. It's perfect. It's a 10 out of 10 game. It's easily a 10 out of 10 game. I cannot express to you, if you haven't played it, buy it, get it. It's worth full price. If you haven't finished it, finish the game. It's so worth your time. It's so much fun. Okay, now we are down to my number one, my personal game of the year. Now, this shouldn't surprise some of you. If you know me, then you know me. My game of the year easily, by far, easily, is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I could not stop. This game took me 140 hours to beat, to finish it, because there were so many mini games, so many side quests, so much exploration. This game was nothing like FF7 Remake. It was so much more. It did everything Remake did not, because Remake basically held your hand through the game, and it was just basically you're in Midgar, right? Well, in Rebirth, you get to finally explore the world of Final Fantasy VII. You get to explore not quite everything, because part 3 will have more, but you got to explore a lot of the Final Fantasy VII world that was in the original game that we know and love. And I tell you, the second I was able to start exploring, I already was getting emotional by everything. The amount of times I got emotional playing this game as an FF7 fan is crazy. If you have not played the original Final Fantasy VII, go ahead and play it and see if it's something you're into. If you're not into that gameplay, check out Remake. Rebirth does have you can see an explanation of Remake beforehand if you just want to go right into Rebirth. But I do still recommend Remake, but Rebirth is so much more. And some people said it was too overwhelming, which I understand. It actually was very, very overwhelming, because every single new open world area you went to, there was this, that to do. There was a million things to do, and some of them were kind of repeats. But that's fine. I know that they are taking feedback for the third game, and there was even side quests in this that felt like main story stuff that was really, really good. And it was like, oh my gosh, what? This is a side quest? Like, I couldn't believe it. And some aspects, like, this game was an emotional roller coaster. The first day it came out, I played 10 hours straight, streamed it 10 hours straight. The second day, I played it 12 hours straight. And then every day after that, I just kept playing it. Couldn't stop. These characters, if you know Final Fantasy VII, the characters, the charm, the soundtrack. It won Best Soundtrack of the Year. I'm very happy about that because I do believe it deserves it. It has over 200 different songs in it. And it's the voice acting, the motion capture. There's so much to appreciate about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that not everyone out there understands unless they play it through and take their time with it and really appreciate everything. Because, oh my gosh, from beginning to end, from side quest to side quest to the music to the mini games were like insane. This game had so many mini games. It had like 50 different mini games or something throughout the game. They kept being more and more. And I can't fully explain the fact that, without spoiling anything, there's so many times that you will like laugh, smile, cry. And that's why it's my game of the year. It did so much more as a fan of Final Fantasy VII than I expected it to do. The piano sequences, like the optional piano quests and stuff, there's one or two that's kind of like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I can't explain it. I'm over here because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is everything that I wanted it to be and then some, and it's easily a 10 out of 10 perfect game for me. Some people might give it a 9, and I see why. I 100% see why. Absolutely. But everything, the journey of a story game that you see, they put their heart and soul into it and took their time and effort into it. And the third game is going to have even more playable characters. It's going to be even bigger. It's going to expand upon the world we already have in Rebirth. It's going to give us even more locations that are not in the second game. It's going to give us a ship that wasn't in this game that we can fly with, and a submarine, and oh my gosh, the amount of stuff that might be in the third game that isn't in the second. I am so ready to be blown away even more and spend another 200 hours in this world in the third game, and it's going to be insane. We're going to revisit Midgar in the third game. It's going to be insane. It's going to be crazy, the stuff they do. Also, I would like to say, without any spoilers, the ending of this game was way, way, way more than I ever thought it was going to be, because I thought some of the things they did, they weren't going to do until the third game, and they did it in the second game. I couldn't believe it. My emotions were everywhere. Go check out my reactions to the finale of this game, because I was losing my mind in every kind of way, and it was incredible, and I truly cannot express enough how good this game is. I mean, say what you want. Final Fantasy, I can understand Astrobot being your game of the year. Absolutely, 100%. But as an FF7 fan, this game was my game of the year personally, because it was just everything that I wanted, really, and then some. Now, I will say, I have not played Metaphor, but I heard that's a really good game as well. Some people who are Final Fantasy VII fans, Rebirth wasn't their game of the year because of Metaphor. So that does get me curious how really good that game is. So that is one that I have not played, and I do want to play that sometime in the future. If you guys recommend it, which I'm sure you guys will if you've played it, because I've heard it's really fantastic. And I played Persona 5, really enjoyed Persona 5, so I think down the line I might get Metaphor. It's just that's a dedication of well over 100 hours as well. So I don't know as of this moment. Maybe at a good sale, though, I might actually pick that game up in the future. We'll see. Anyways, guys, that is my top 5 games of 2024. To me, it's been a little bit slower of a year, especially for Nintendo. They've done some good stuff this year, such as Mario Party and a couple other things that were really good, but nothing to be in my top 5 as of now. But next year, due to the Switch 2 or Super Switch or whatever the heck we're going to call it coming out, we're going to, I'm sure, see a crazy wild year come next year. Towards the holidays, third or fourth quarter of next year, we're going to see some crazy stuff going with Nintendo, I am sure. But that being said, guys, that's my top 5. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you have a top 5 for the games you played this year. They don't even have to be games of 2024. I decided to make 8 games of 2024. They do not have to be of 2024. Just games that you played this year that you really enjoy. Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, as we got more stuff always in the future, and live streams coming too, and a birthday party stream this weekend. And yeah, thanks guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Peace.